Joe, 5-0 win against Basford in the third qualifying round of the FA Cup. How was the performance?
I think it was important just to ultimately win the game and go into the next round. The FA Cup, that's ultimately you come here to do one job, and that job is to win and go into the next round. So it's going to be exciting to see who we're going to get in the next round. Come 4 o'clock tomorrow, in terms of the performance, I'm not too fussed, if I'm honest. I felt as though we obviously dictated the game. I felt as though we should have just been a bit more clinical, maybe lacking a bit of intensity second half because the game was floating. It's something that I usually say when two sides maybe are just letting the game sort of float by them. And yeah, the game was sort of done in the first half, to be honest. And yeah, listen, we're 5-0 into the next round, so yeah, really positive.
Yeah, and this takes you into the first round proper of the Women's FA Cup. For you personally, how does that feel?
Feels good. We want to be competitive in every competition this season, and it brings a bit more money into the club. But the main aim was when we came in as the management staff was that we wanted to change the perception. I know that by going far in the FA Cup, it helps us to do that. We had a tough game against Shifnal previously. Obviously, coming here today, ultimately you've got to turn up and win. We feel as though as well. I said in the interview last game in the cup that we feel as though we could beat some Tier 4 sides. I want us to get a side where potentially we're really competitive against them. We want a big win to maybe prove a few people wrong and prove that we are good. Because even this season, to get the draws to begin with in the first 2 games, it wasn't good enough. But we feel as though we're clicking now. We're starting to gel. We're playing better in terms of the principles that we're looking to install. We've got a few new bodies coming in. We've got one coming in next week as well, which we're excited to announce. So yeah, really positive going into the next game.
We return to league action next week against Coundon. Thoughts on that game?
Tough side. We played them before. I played them a few times in my previous stint as Burton manager. They're a good, solid Tier 5 side that I know that have got a few players. I can know 3 or 4 of those players who are good, really good young players, are quick, aggressive. So it'll be a tough game. We're not certainly taking the game lightly because they're a solid side, but ultimately it's a game where we've got to go in with the mindset of wanting to win and have to win. I think every game that we've got to go into, we've got to have that mentality. So we're up for it, the players got to be up for it, and I know that we'll go into that game being clinical and the 3 points into the board.
And finally, looking forward to the draw tomorrow. Any preference for you'd like?
Preference? Maybe a Tier 4 side. Just to, again, when we come in, we wanted to change the perception. And yeah, there's a few sides that I feel as though we could be, or at least come up against and be really competitive. But yeah, just a team that we want to go in and progress into the next round. Thank you, Joe. Cheers.